I think being Mzungus in this foreign land and more or less, immersing into their community was able to, heighten their awareness of other things as well as ours. It was a mutual trade-off. It was crossing roads, if you will. That exchange of, whether it be political beliefs or family values or musical interests, some kind of cultural exchange that took place every single day, whether it was, eating a new food or teaching an English lesson. Anything that we did was a cultural exchange, being in a foreign land. And for them, having foreigners in their land, and for us being in a foreign land, it was really, that's what's going to make, hopefully the world a better place someday, is everyone just crossing borders and having that respect, across borders.
But I think that when people go and see, for instance, how some people live with so little and yet they have a fulfilled life, when we see how some people have to struggle for just day-to-day existence, and yet there is a sense of well-being, whereas in many of our communities in this country, people have so much but they seem to be unfulfilled. So perhaps there is some relationship there. The reality is that the world is built on relationships, and we need to have, as Americans, friends in all parts of the world. And people in other parts of the world need to have friends here. They need to have relationships, and those are the things that kind of knit the world together. Because when you read the paper, it isn't just numbers of people who were caught in a disaster or whatever, but having been to Kenya, and if you saw the violence there, you know what that means.
You can put a face on it.
Yes, and that's important. I think it begins to humanize the world, and that's an important understanding to have.
I think Kenya changed me in many ways. The first is that, there's this group of kids in this orphanage across the world that I think of every day, that I see every day when I wake up. And there's this bond that I feel with them that I don't think is ever going to go away. I'm always going to think of those kids.
I made a lot of lifestyle changes. I don't stress about the small stuff, every time that I find myself getting upset about something in my own personal life, I think about those children that we worked with, and truly not more than a day or two goes by that I don't think about those children.
It just affirmed to me how the whole world is connected. We're all humans, and we all have the same needs. We all have the same desires, and we all have the same right to life and happiness. And that's enough to tie us together.
And I think young people, being that we are the future generation, if we don't care, no one will in the future. And I think it starts with caring, and I think we had a fortunate experience of being able to go there and put emotional ties to the situation in Africa, because now we care.
Apathy is the enemy, really, and once people care, they'll want to help. It's just making them feel that connection to people across the world, and once that's done, then you're halfway there, I think. I'm planning to join the Peace Corps as soon as I graduate from college. I'm going in January to some country in sub-Saharan Africa to work on a health extension project there. And I know that the reason I'm taking that huge, drastic step in joining the Peace Corps is because of the experience I had in Kenya. It affirmed everything about what I wanted to do with my life. It was just an amazing experience.
Now, we live every day wanting to do more and more and more, and you feel helpless a lot of the time. But you got to rise above that helplessness and find the will and way within you to do something. And I think my future will be all about finding that will and way to do something and not letting my helplessness, overwhelm me, because it very well could be. A lot of people, they see corruption in the world, and instead of, wanting to change it, they're turned off. And you can't let it turn you off. You gotta let it turn you on. Yeah, turns me on.
Hey, Jane, talk to me.
Thank you, Belle, for what you have done for me. And God will bless you. And I think we will be together. And our friends agree to be your friend.
Always. Forever. Right?
Say hi to your friends when you will go back and tell them we are happy here in Kenya.
Definitely. Thank you, Jane. I'm gonna miss you.